Good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. Let's get into it. Let's go.
I've got one that can see.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Visual Disturbance Channel. I'm your host, Brian Reese, and we are back at it again here for a News That's Not For Everybody program this evening. So welcome everybody back to the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe. I've got my back brace on and my cup of tea and some water to wash it down with. So there we are today here on the broadcast. We're firing off on cylinders, and I want to welcome everybody in all walks of life to the channel. Thank y'all so very much for being here with me. And let's just go ahead and jump into it. No, let's just stop and wait for a minute. Let's just take a few seconds here to give a few shout-outs to some folks. I haven't done it for a long time. Shake and Wake Radio and Esther Jades. I don't have any promotions there for you guys, but your sponsor banners or anything like that. But yeah, that's the best I can do. I hope you all are doing well out there in the airwaves and everywhere else as far as the way the world is. So shout out to you guys out there, and I hope you're blessed. So hit all the links in the description box. You'll be glad you did. Thank y'all so very much for being a part of the Visual Disturbance. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's just get super serious with some country fried cooking language. Let's just cook something up here. And like somebody said in the chat, I think Kimberly said, okay, let's get the party started. That's exactly right. Let's go ahead and jump into the party. Let's get it started. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to X yet, go check that out. But I posted today. It's tough to get through all the news out there, right? And in this channel, where you're offering a fresh take on the channel and a different perspective, and y'all are coming out and hanging with me today, and the fracturing of everything coming off the rails, as you see here in 2026, with literally a fresh look and a fresh take. You turn your head to the right or the left, it might be too late, but it's getting crazy out there in our reality of existence. Can I get a woohoo? Big Earn is in the chat. Good seeing you. And I just want to say this before I really get down to the meat and the bones of it, and especially the milk of the program. Folks, I just want to tell you something. I'm feeling something like in my spirit, a great turning, I guess something just spiritually driven. You can feel it on all directions. You can call it the atmosphere, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but there's the Holy Spirit that's driving this ship over here. So it's kind of interesting when you really think about it, and I'm not coming off as a boastful statement. I just think there's some very strange things, and the God of Almighty that created all this stuff has turning some people's stomachs and turning their brain waves on, because something's coming. Something definitely is on the horizon, and people out there can say he said, she says, and say well, whatever we want to say under the sun with the articulated terminology and complexity in their mindset, and say they know every vocabulary in the Webster Dictionary, okay, of the English language, and even maybe possibly know 10 different ancient languages, and get in there and confuse everybody. So this channel, I'm not going to be bringing too much doom and gloom, but I'm bringing a little bit of seriousness on the side. I'm going to get the goofiness out of the way here. The news is not fair, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. I want to thank y'all so very much for being part of this. Swamp Light, Cody Cox is in the chat. Good seeing you. Texas, we're going to be talking about you Texas folks out here in a minute, and we got a lot to discuss. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's crack it off. Let's go on to the more bizarro news that is hitting the headlines and in the scientific community. Not too much mainstream, but it's getting there. It's getting there, just like some time travel knowledge that's been popping off here in the airwaves. I'm glitching out, man. That's what you welcome to Visual Disturbance world. Let's just go ahead and get into this first one. Just go ahead and set the tone, fire it up. Let's go. That was a long-winded introduction, but I had to get everybody out there that I just love so very much for the love and support out there in the visual disturbance world. I had to give you guys a shout out. So, breaking. Physicists are saying that the mirror universe exists where time flows in the opposite direction. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I know that the cognitive ability and everything out there in the reality right now, people can't even use their bearings and even know what an atlas is or a map or any topography. So my consensus of this and saying that, okay, so if there is such thing as a mirror universe exists where time flows in the opposite direction, it just astonishes me where we are. We have literally lost our, I guess, the free will to be human. And also, we've been bamboozled into lies and deceitfulness that has been driven through probably generations and thousands of years. And here we are on the cusp of something so-called groundbreaking and existing of a mirror. And all I'm seeing on this, if you look at it through the eyes of the lens of what I've got going on, and I look at it through a biblical lens or any kind of other lens, I'm thinking piercing the veil, reversing something, and trying to change something. And it reminds me of Project Looking Glass all day long when I'm thinking of this and way that they are speaking in this announcement. So, one would have to wonder. And like I said all the time on the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're just now tuning in, I'm an open-minded person with a biblical background. So look out, folks. And then also the occupation of being a milkman, it can take you so far, folks. Endure to the end. You can be an overcomer with those three things. If you could be a milkman and have some biblical knowledge in you, and an open-minded, open critical thinker, you can go all the way and pierce through the veil, pierce through the matrix, and jump through the Stargate and come out on the other end, and you'll be shining like a diamond. So there's some fun comedy there for the beginning of the program. I thought I was going to stop doing that, but hey, it's this back brace. It's pulling me forward, pulling me back, cracking a spine or two, or a hemorrhage disc, and here we go. So opposite direction in the universe and expanding this time flow of the space-time continuum. And here we are saying that there's weird things, like I said at the beginning of the program, we all are feeling it. There's a spiritual side to it. There's a physical side to it. We can call it he said, she said, and we got all these people out there saying all kinds of rhetoric and literally just gaslighting us and pulling us down to some type of scenario situation where it's literally causing us grief and anger and resentment and bitterness and causing us to have trauma. I've talked about it many times here on the channel. Trauma-based mind control, which I don't want to get involved in. Moving on, if you haven't been here, the news is not for everybody. Welcome, folks. Well, scientists have created the first artificial neuron capable of communicating with the human brain. Man, this one's stunning. It's just marvelous. It's just marvelous news. Well, I'm gonna throw some wrenches in the motor here today and watch the oil fall out the back of the tailpipe. I gotta drink that tea and calm down for a few moments here, folks. So let's just say there's nothing new under the sun. There was some type of capability of ancient knowledge back in the day through antiquity, through the antediluvian period, where they actually used something that they could create something, or could it be the opposite? And you're like, Brian, what are you alluding to? What are you thinking? What are you even alluding to here, Brian? Well, I'll just say this. If there's an artificial neuron capable of communicating with human brains and they're creating it, there's nothing new about it. And let me explain. Let me break it down in hillbilly talk with some English language mixed into it. Okay, folks. I thought about this. I thought about it very intensive. When you sometimes have a lot of time to think alone and your brain processes things, you read things, you remember things, you logically think about what you've read 20 years ago. You put it all together and collaborate it. And I think about this right here, this artificial neuron capability of communicating with human brains. What if, and this is not a what if program, what if the ancients, we could talk about Lemuria, Atlantis, we could talk about the Sumerian people, we could talk about all these cultures that we have knowledge about, that we have books on or tablets or whatever it is in the historical record that we still have that hasn't been burned up in a Vatican tunnel. Okay? You remember the Great Fire they had at Vatican? They supposedly had like 250 miles worth of data. They only got like 80 something now. Probably 88 miles per hour. Oh, excuse me, per 88 miles. I'm just kidding around. But in all seriousness, folks, what if when God said, now a lot of people out here are saying, oh man, here we go. He's going to preacher, man. Well, this channel is an open-minded channel. I have had some controversial people on here talking about certain particular things, and I love it that I can hear a person's commentary. But what if, speaking of biblical, in the image of God, when you hear that all the time, image of God, we are created in the image of God. And I had this thought, I had this epiphany the other day, and I put some thought into it back in the day too, but it just kind of came to me. What if when we say there's nothing new, what if we are the advanced? Just think about this. I'm going to twist it up here a little bit. What if the technology and everything that we have is literally saying that we are being persuaded into using it, but you think about the Watchers, you think about the fallen angels, you think about all these stories that are accurate and documented about the fallen angels at Mount Hermon and all these different applications. Well, what if the adversary and the other technology, so-called technology, is nothing new, and it's fallen angel tech, and it's observing, it's Watcher technology, and that's why people are saying, well, I remember I said this in my mind, but Facebook is reading my mind, and all these other technologies are reading my mind, and social media. What if it could be us interacting, and it's so advanced to a certain degree, but we are advanced because we was created. And maybe this is what we're dealing with when we come to the realization that angels might be either hybrid or might be either robotic in a certain nature. I've heard all kinds of different things, but what if it is that iron and clay mixing is not going to work? What if it's literally something to that level that the image of God is so great and so powerful, and we can do so many different things. We have the ability to do so many things. We have the ability to create. We have the ability to love and do all these different things and repopulate the earth. Just think about what I'm saying, folks. Think about it. If it's something here in this artificial neuron capability to communicate with the human brain, what if it's something, a different path, a different way, a different, let's just say, playing field for these things to come back in and manifest back into our reality? And while we were just sitting here being observed like the Truman Show, and it's all like on steroids right now, and we can't see through the eye of the needle because we really are just thinking that we're not worthy. We keep saying we're useless. We keep saying we don't have a cognitive ability. We still say we can't do this. I know people that literally have a college education say they never could do anything else. I know people that has done one or two things in their life and had two occupations all their life, and they say they can't do nothing else. They're not worthy of it. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to go about it, and that's what I'm getting at. I wonder if this technology and stuff is so suppressive that it's literally causing cognitive decline and making people freak out, and there's some type of something in the airways is causing some kind of brainwave patterns to change the man's and the women's, the mankind's reality. That's my take. Sorry to go too crazy down the rabbit trail, but I really had to ponder on it. I really had to process that because it's like they're observing us to see what we can do. And every time you look around and turn around, they're taking DNA and extracting it and bringing in the so-called biological material, biological understanding, biological computers, biological quantum field, all these different things. And guess what, folks? I've always said this on the channel. It's like the Tron movie. They need us more than we need them. Think about it. Think about it. We're the users, and we're playing this game. Something's really going on here, folks. It's like Ephesians 6, verse 12, when you think about the principalities, wickedness, and darkness, dominions, and you think it on a different scale, an open-minded mindset, instead of being so stand strong and say, well, that doesn't matter what that means, or there's no such thing as thrones, there's no such thing as gateways, stargates, whatever it is, in these realms that these angels can go back and forth and to and fro. Well, just think about this, folks. There's ancient ley lines on the ground, which we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. I bet you there's ancient ways to communicate with brainwaves too, in a situation to where you can replicate something and then manifest something to have the same playing ground. And I think it's what we're looking at here, folks. I think we're looking at something so diabolical that we can't even perceive it because we're just literally too too, let's just say we're too busy thinking about everything else and worried about what somebody said or making fun of somebody or social media or whatever. It's completely just taking us to a whole nother playing field. And no joke, I'm not going to show the footage here because I'm going to do for copyright purposes only and respecting the channel, but on Redacted not too long ago. And I'm just going to show a little bit about it here. I'm going to watch too what I got to say because there's a lot of stuff that even in 2026 you can't get away from here. And I'm going to try to see if I can keep it from not having it on the screen. Okay. Let's see if that'll work. So the AI mind control is what I'm referring to at the bottom there. I skipped some of the stuff so I wouldn't get, let's just say, you got to respect the policies here. So the shocking reveal alert is what they're referring to. Military intelligence has weaponized nanotech, fully deployed a brain control technology on the entire civilization. Civilian. I said civilization. You know why I said that? Because there's nothing new under the sun, folks. Nothing new under the sun. There's the word on the street, like I mentioned here on the channel, that Osiris is an ancient AI. Riddle that one, folks. Semiramis is not going to like that. Don't be changing those narratives, folks. But Osiris is supposedly an ancient AI, according to the account. Whatever. But how strange. So, technology on an entire civilization, whatever type of possible nefarious thing could they do. And there's a certain G word, which I refer to a lot in some other programs, but we always kind of dance around. Let's just say black ooze, black goo, and it's in something something. And this something something that gets put in a ARM application amplifies your biofield, okay? So, and hence you can be exposed to torture remotely. Yeah, folks. Sorry to go too Dr. Doom, but yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Pretty disgusting, pretty vile, and it makes me want to vomit sideways. It just makes me want to vomit. I give up. I almost give up. I almost give up when on the narrative, not in real life, not for everything else, but it does make me really focus on, okay, now what? So, what do you think? Here's the next one. No joke. Couldn't believe this, but I mean, look, I'll tell you something real quick about me. 2008, I was looking at dirt and saying, is it got nano in it? And I was looking at the Indian mounds and look at the structures and look at the curvature over it and thinking about why, how it's domed off, who had this, how they put mica in it, how the ancients know how to put all these certain things in it to collaborate some type of field. And I mean, literally, folks, conductivity's there, the whole thing. I mean, I've been there, done that, looked at that, got that t-shirt, and it's just kind of overwhelming when you look at the ancient, just literally not too far back, 500 years ago, you can find a lot of stuff, and it makes you wonder where nanotech came from. And I said it on the channel. I've said it not too long ago when they was popping off the sarcophaguses in Egypt, like in 2015, they was dipping it out, and they said it was the gate. They said it was the not the gateway to the gods, but they said it was the blood of the gods inside the sarcophagus surrounding the priests and the pharaohs of old. And it was dated 3,500 years ago. And I remember seeing the segment in the newspaper in another country. It's really hot country right now on the trending as far as the horrible things that's going on over there right now. But they was making the claim that nanotech was ancient, and it was literally tied to the same nanotech that they had now, and it predated back to 3,500 years old. So think about that. That was in the sarcophagus. So riddle that one, folks. Riddle that one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Pretty crazy stuff. So here we go. We got breaking. Humans could be closer than ever to immortality thanks to nano bots by 2030. I almost said 2013. Hook up. Whoa, Brian, did you get a time machine? Predicts futurist Ray almost said Kurzweil, but Kurzweil. And Ray's been right about 86% of his past predictions. This could be his boldest yet. So welcome to the Twilight Zone. And when you see something outside and you see a little spray make you go cray, just try not to go down the rabbit hole and jump on the unicorn, and start singing, 'cause I got high. You don't want to do that, folks. You don't want to do that. That's the way that we dancing with if you're dancing with the unicorns and the magic dragon, you got something Let's just say it's not good. Not good. You took in too much nano. But yeah, folks, Immortality 2030. And I remember seeing this very point blank. I've seen this point blank in the past. I remember seeing some very interesting conversations I've said in many different platforms. I've talked about many different things, talking about the biblical narrative, many different things, talking about the ancient ones and what they did, the ancient Atlantis. And you think to yourself, how in this world could this be true? Is this something is this all just a show? Is this like the biggest entertainment production show that you ever could imagine? Is this the biggest world stage that you ever could process in your total reality? So, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. But hey, welcome to Visual Disturbance. Like I always say, keep it fresh, keep it real, but yeah, it's spray, make you go cray with the happy. Well, not really a happiness. It's, yeah. Anyways, moving on. So, just to take that in consideration, and Mr. Kurzweil, if he's Mr. Ray, if Ray's involved in talking about that. So, let's just think about this for a minute. I seen something dropped today, and you can't make this stuff up, and I'm going to try to play the video if I can. But they're not hiding it anymore. Zombie attack survival guides. And this is in Texas, by the way. Good. Come on, Cody. And survival guides now being handed out inside Texas courthouses. And a lot of people saying it's a hoax, it's a fluke, it's for entertainment purposes only. And I can tell you right now, if it's for entertainment purposes only, if anybody's out there that's got some type of sick mindset that they did this, my goodness. I mean, is it that humorous to do this? But we're going to play the video here in a minute. A woman walks into her local courthouse in Burleson, Texas, and sees this setting here like it's completely normal. And it's a pamphlet titled Zombie Attack. Are you prepared? No joke. Let's see if I can play it here. And let's just have fun while we do it. Well, not really no fun, but let's just see if I can play it here for everybody. I'm going to try not to play that because of copyright. Hang on. I'll just play the video footage. Here I am jamming in the background to the music and not even narrating the video. But yes, check that out. Are you prepared for a zombie attack? Does this look like somebody made it that from a 1999 or 1998 Windows PC? Possibly. They probably need to use a different inkjet printer, but there you go, folks. What kind of reality are we living in? Is the zombies getting ready to happen? Is it getting ready to pop off once again here in our society? And you're probably like, what, Brian? What do you say? What did you say? Well, folks, I'll just say this. It happened. Not the way you think it happened, not because you've seen too many television shows or movie series. It did happen. And what happened with it was the situation back in Miami. If anybody remembers that, there was people running around butt naked eating people. I mean, seriously, they claimed it was flop it, left, flock it, that kind of thing. There was certain type of mineral and something else that was being sold at, let's just say, convenient properties or stores. And people started losing their wits about them. They was pulling off off the hinges of cars. They was jumping through windows, doing backflips off of a parking garage and jumping and running and just literally taking off running and plowing themselves in the back of vans. And then the main one that I remember very specifically was the one from the Miami event where the man got shot like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times and he never could get down. They finally took him down, and he was supposedly, after the autopsy they did on him, he didn't have anything on him besides a little trace of marijuana. So, welcome to the flocka, and I don't know if there was enough, it wasn't pushed too hard as far as the mainstream media back then. But I think it was like in 2014, 2013 maybe. But I remember it started catching back up in 2015. They kind of cut it. And speaking of, it's really weird to me that this zombie apocalypse, and it goes on talking about the agencies have openly admitted in the past that zombie scenarios are sometimes used as a placeholder for real emergency situations like outbreaks, mass panic events, or breakdown scenarios they don't fully explain. So why package it like this and quietly put it in the public buildings? What are they actually preparing people for without saying it directly? So boom, boom, boom. A couple years ago, we did a show with me and John. And we talked about this. We talked about a certain thing that was supposed to happen on the face of the earth. I mean, my goodness, folks, they was claiming that I think it was in 2023 or 2022, maybe late 2022, that in a few years, 2 to 3 years, and here we are, it's like in the zone, and they was claiming that there was going to be mutations and biological mutations and changing in the frontal lobe of the brain and turning into literally mindless, like mind control folks or zombies. They would mention that terminology, zombie, 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 and it's like a code word. You don't really know where they're going to pull it, turn it, flip it, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they put a movie out. You see what I'm saying? So gaslight, 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 and then pull back the veil. Here you go. Here's some fun entertainment. Let's some food and circus. Go out there and run through the woods and have fun at the local movie theater and watch it 10 times and then go watch it and buy it and DVD, whatever, and use all your money up. And yeah, that's how it rolls. So didn't mean to go too ranting, but it is kind of frustrating. And I remember specifically too, we just talked about on the channel not too long ago, talking about a certain, well, I don't have anything against them, but Amazon actually had that in their customer service at one time, and they took it down, talking about just in case there was a zombie apocalypse to a certain degree in I think it was a wood lumber yard, and talking about the saliva, the folks staying away, they bite and everything. I mean, we're living in some type of parallel dimension right now, folks. And this is where you get to the realization of everything. You can look in the Vedas, you can look at any kind of Gnostic text. You can look at anything you want to look at under the sun, and there has to be something to it when it comes to soul or spiritual applications. The realm is the veil of the realm is thinning. We cannot be cognitively set back and say, oh, there's nothing here, there's nothing to it, there's nothing with it. I mean, we're just aimless, we're just useless, like they call us, apes, and it is disgusting. There's got to be more to it. Yeah, there is. There's called a soul, and the Bible literally screams it off the page about the souls of men. And I feel like, we can talk all day about the key words with the R word. We can talk about the rapture. We can talk about specific things like that, the doomsday devices and all these different things. But what the heck is really going on here? I mean, you have to ask yourself this. And then another thing, you have to ask, why in the world does somebody take the time and the energy and the effort to create these type of banners or these pamphlets and put this out here? And then I want to throw something out here to you. Another ring to ring the bell. Not only did it, and I can't say the word, let's just say there was a certain exercise around those times when I'm referring to with the flocka. And I remember certain places, it starts with a J. It was a certain, let's just say, institution, or let's just say something to that degree called a J. Started with a J. And if my memory serves me correct, they did literally zombie drills all throughout America. Sent the brigade of Chinooks, Black Ops, helicopters, all kinds of stuff going on. And you go look that up. That's actually a real thing. And it's all very, very huge word. Well, it's not a huge word, but if I say it, it'll become a huge problem for me. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Spiritual warfare is it's on the highest degree right now. There's nothing else to say. So take it for what it is. I hope that this doesn't manifest and come to a realization. I hope there's not zombies running aimlessly in the streets. But I can tell you from my experience right now, and if you want me to get on a personal level, I'll take it that way. And I guess I will, because it's really close to my mind and close to my heart. And a lot of people don't really hear truth anymore, want to hear realization when it comes to like the grinding of reality of like a human, like what they have to endure if they have infirmities or what have you, or any kind of medical conditions. I can assure you right now, folks, I'm going to try to keep it more civil here, but, and more peaceful. When you're asking for assistance now, it's like, hey, here's this physical item. I need it fixed and repaired. I can't do that. I don't understand what that means. And it's the facility or the place that makes it happen. And even if you throw, I mean, even, you throw cash money or whatever it is, they can't even accept that. It's just mind boggling to me where our society is. Okay. And like I've mentioned on the channel several times, if you have anybody have any trouble with automated systems and the AI mechanisms, and I can't understand you, you hear the woman robotic voice most of the time. Usually there's a male too, but I don't understand. And I'll be, I'm from Kentucky and I like it that way, and then nobody shows up. I can't because I want to talk to an operator. I've said it many times on the channel. All you got to do is do this. I need to speak to operator. And it goes right through. Connection. Connection received. One moment. So if you're wanting to communicate with a human and you're talking to a AI mechanisms, just do the visual disturbance. I am a human. You do that and it's over. It's just over. I want to speak. And then it goes off. It's just over. So if you can pull that off and do that impression, you're golden. So we can make it, folks. We can endure through this AI nonsensical ideology. We can make it happen. We can make it happen. T-800 ain't as smart as what you think, okay? Terminator. So yeah, this gentleman right here, I'd throw this in here. When the NPCs malfunction and then shut down, sadly, many humans will have psychological issues from this. 99% of the people will need psychological care. And they're going on talking about certain things in the world as far as great resets and referring to the new Tartaria situation. So I would just say this. If you watch the Demons or On the Rising program we just did not too long ago on the channel, I think there's something on a level with antennas, with ancient technologies, with these obelisks, with these ancient things through antiquity that I'm just sitting over here going, hillbilly, 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 give me some type of like re-ingenuity of that you like that, so I can re-engineer this type of new technology and re-engineer it for my bidding. I want to be the human that gets the donation. You hear this all the time in the ufologists, the UFO researchers. They're giving donations. They're giving donations. So, could you imagine? We got us a boogie here. And it landed somewhere in the far bluegrass state in my backyard. So anybody out there, if you're an alien and you're 20 foot tall and bulletproof and you got a flying Vimana, please, by all means, if you want to donate to the channel, donate that to the backyard crash. And I hope it's the size of a bus. And so it won't be big of an impact. And hopefully that thing can take me across to wherever I need to go, because this is pure insanity where our reality is right now. And I don't need a TR3B triangle to get me out. I want the real stuff. I want the real McCoy, okay? I want the real McCoy. Y'all can't make this stuff up. But they do call them donations. They're saying that these UFO extraterrestrials or whoever they are, they're giving us donations. Crazy times, folks. We literally have crossed the threshold of beyond insane. Has anybody felt that? Has anybody felt like really how we can even get to this realm of how can we process it? How like you go outside, you see good things, you see God's creation. There's the birds, there's the bees, what's left of them, and you see trees falling over, and they're burn up because it's snowing one day and a tornadic wind the next, and then you're like, well, can we make it there so I can plant a garden? You don't get nothing, useless human. We just turned on the weather machine. Blast away the proton beam. Yeah, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother broadcast, but that's literally something they're doing, folks. Something they're doing. Speaking of something very urgent and pretty surreal when it comes to a reality as far as the folks out there in the UK, hope I can get away with it, but there's a breaking outbreak, and something has been declared a national incident over meningitis outside. It's an outbreak. So something's on the rise there, folks. I usually don't talk about stuff like this, but it's on the rise. So let's just take up a screen so I won't get hit with anything. But check that out if you get an opportunity. It's pretty surreal. Pretty surreal. So let's just have some more fun here. Let's have some fun and entertainment. Let's get off this disgusting, let's just say, sulfur smells and radiation gamma rays and everything under the sun, and people being told one thing and told the other, and there's like all this poison. There's poison out there. Poison out there, folks. Poison. Well, speaking of poison, this one really got me, folks. before I show this video here, it's on replay right now, but uh, Spirit, well, let's just say that. Well, it was interesting. You hear Spirit, there you go, and I don't want to knock down on the company or anything, but yeah, there you go. The records company taping their playing together, and also the customer's like, I want my money back. I just want my money back. And I'm going to show you what they was talking about. And you ask yourself, why in the world is the planes and the TSA and all these other let's just say things that are going on in our society right now. It takes 5 to 6 to 10, 15 hours, whatever it is, to get on a plane. You got to ask yourself, and this is one problem. This is one problem. We're going to play it here, and hopefully it won't be too loud. Let's just play this. Y'all like that instant replay over and over again? Yeah, get the duct tape out and watch them fly away again. I don't want to reenact the Manifest program, the Manifest TV series. Maybe that's why there's a Manifest TV series out there. They're showing you little Easter egg nuggets and showing you what really does go on in reality with the orbs and the radiation waves and molecular structure waves, and all the scientists are telling me this or that. But I can tell you right now, if I take some duct tape and try to tape the wing or tape the fairing on the side of the airplane, well, I can assure you not to say too much out here in the airwaves, but you know what happens in Kentucky stays in Kentucky. But I'm going to give you all some insight here. I've drove some trucks that, let's just say there's some companies out there that work off some other companies that are leasing companies, and some companies on companies after that. And the individuals on the top, they say, you don't deserve new equipment. You don't deserve that luxury. I'm going to drive it. You drive it until the wheels fall off, literally, or the floor comes out. Well, I can tell you right now, I've been in some milk trucks in the back in the day with the floor out, and you're driving 70 miles an hour down the stretch on the highway, and you can see the asphalt. So, guess what this old boy did? I took a bunch of eggs and sold them, and I took some egg boxes, and I made myself a literally bona fide flooring. You can do a lot. You can do a lot with some cardboard and some egg boxes when you're a milkman. So that's a whole nother topic for another day. And some duct tape will go a long, long way. So yeah, floor popping off, oil flying out the back, hydraulic fluid flying every which way. Milk trucks keep driving. Just throwing it out there. That's a true fact. So that means the airlines are doing the exact same thing, it looks like. Put a little tape on it, put a little spit shine, buff it out a little bit, pray that the V-Manas show up and put it back in and weld it with their advanced breakaway civilization technology. But how much more sicker can we get, folks? I just had to throw it out there. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. People making me laugh in the chat. I just seen a little Flintstone commentary, but tape it up, watch it fly. Don't even bat an eye, folks. Register that one. So there's some comedy for the broadcast there. I wasn't meaning to get too far off. Somebody said Air MacGyver. Yeah, that was Air MacGyver. And yeah, so, or somebody said something like that, but it's pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty scary. I wouldn't be participating in that situation, but there you go. Yeah, it's pretty much where we're at. You know, it's pretty much where we're at. And I had to say this. A lot of people don't like that I incorporate this in my programs, but hey, it's a visual disturbance program, so that's what happens. This individual here posted this, and I had to like quote it again. I just want everyone to come to Jesus. That's 100% factual information. And like I said, a lot of people disagree. A lot of people get upset that I even refer to the King of Kings. And, you know, you think about quantum physics and everything that they got coming down the pike right now in our reality, and you saying that they can't walk through walls and they try to take things and do stuff to replicate what the King of King and all these angels have done in the past. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. The Prince of the Power of the air is coming. It's all coming out there like the buffet on a buffet line on a Friday night where there's 10,000 people there trying to get the same food. And it's sold out before it's all said and done. That's where we're at. That's where we're at, folks. And that's not no joke. That's where we're at. I gotta love this next one. This one really got me. Some of these tweets here I gotta show you guys because it's really telling for the broadcast here. This individual, the Iran war is about control of Sumerian technology. So we have Sumerian technology, and I want to throw something out there. I think this is legitimately something I would really hook up to as far as full agreement with. When I think about this and think about the ancient knowledge over there in all these countries, I'm just going to let you guys know Stargate, 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 and it's going to look like something off the Kurt Russell film if we're not too careful. And things are going to come upon the earth where man's hearts will fail them. And I think we got us a little technology. And them Sumerian folks out there, they had the Project Looking Glass. Don't know how much time has passed, but it feels like forever. And that's no song. Well, without the ancient knowledge. But yeah, so yeah, it's this person's got it going on here when they are literally coming up with the same conclusion that I am. So welcome to the Twilight Zone, folks. It's getting crazier by the millisecond, and you guys can feel it just as much as I can. Anybody that's out there intuitive in our reality. So this one's a headline. This just happened just this morning. A lot of people out there in the northern countries. That's a terrible, terrible impression. That was not me mocking fun of anybody, any shape or form. I was making fun of myself. I'm trying to do an impression instead of sounding so hillbilly and country. You know what I mean? I'm the CB radio guy from the 1970s. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Visual Disturbance. That's some fun. That's some fun stuff that happened to a listener. She was cracking me up. So according to literally just happened just this, I think it was yesterday, a very bright light, well, a very bright daylight fireball, was observed by witnesses from the northeast U.S. and Canada this morning, and that was March the 17th, so it was early this morning. I put this on Facebook, too, for real. An analyst of currently available data places first visibility of the meteor from Lake Erie. I've been to Lake Erie many times. I like Lake Erie. I think it's a powder keg of ancient archaeology. But hey, who am I? I'm just the guy from Bluegrass State that just hit his head too hard. The fireball caused by a small asteroid nearly 6 feet in diameter and weighing about 7 tons, it moved southeast at about 45,000 miles per hour before fragmenting over Valley City. The fragments continued on to the south, producing meteorites in the vicinity of the Median County, Ohio. So here's some pictures here, just some cartoon renderings. There she blows, a meteor sighting in Ohio. So anybody out there in the Ohio area, shout out to Youngstown. I was in y'all's neck of the woods last year. I hope y'all are doing well. But yeah, so they missed the mark. If they gave the donation, it's the wrong location. You're supposed to go a little bit more south, and I needed this in the backyard. So it's about 6 foot in diameter and about 7 tons. That sounds a little bit smaller than a bus, but I could get by. I believe. I could get by. I can't see to drive, but I sure could probably telepathically fly one of these bad boogers. I'm joking, folks. There's some fun entertainment for you guys. Don't take me serious on that one. I don't want people to think I'm just turning into Looney Tunes here. But yeah, so 45,000 miles an hour coming in at Mach 10. I wonder where the crater is. I just wonder where the crater is. So news is not for everybody on all cylinders. This individual quoted on this, and whoever this Drew Doss is, big shout out to you. If you ever see this and come across the Visual Disturbance, I want you on the channel. I don't even care who you are. I just know that you're this coolest dude. It says Drew Doss. More fireballs started to feel like one of those in alien invasion movies where everyone is oblivious until it's too late. That is 100% Doss. Mr. Doss. Yeah. Mr. Drew, I want you on Visual Disturbance channel. Just come on. Come on when you get an opportunity. If you're out there. Alien invasion movies where everyone is oblivious until it's too late. And I want to throw this out here real quick. There's some people in the FOJC that broadcast we did the other night with Brother David. They said that I was too sci-fi. They said my brain was, I think, scrambled or pickled. I think the terminology was pickled. I can tell you right now, folks, I'm not a big fan of pickles. Sometimes I'll tell you a really fun fact here. At nighttime, and I know Cody Cox, we was talking about this several years ago with gardening. Don't pick your cucumbers during the day. Don't pick your cucumbers during the day, and for your vine not to die, pick them at nighttime when the moon's out. Just giving you some information. You might like that information for the future. Just giving you some information. So to make pickles is a very, very complex scenario, especially canning, and my wife is very efficient with that. So, just saying. Somebody said I was pickled. I love it. I love the commentary. I love the criticism. I was pickled and my brain was fried up like sci-fi bacon. And it's an open-minded type of conversation that day. And then I'm an open-minded individual. So I'm just keeping it real. One pickle at a time. Yeah. Pickle juice, not Beetlejuice. But yeah, this gentleman right here, Drew Doss, this guy is cranking up the resonation. He's I'm resonation, but resonating with this guy a lot because of the alien invasion situation. Because I really do think this, and you know why I think this? We're getting ready to do some Google Earth. So check this out. I got to give a shout out to this individual. I've never met this man, but since we are on that topic, if I can find the quote that this man has just said today. And it's very interesting that he had made this commentary, and it just blew my mind when he did. And I said, man, some kind of synchronization, synchronizing with the brain waves or whatever the deal is. This guy, he talks about a lot of controversial stuff, has a lot of cool guests on. He's done his due diligence. He knows a lot of wide verse topics. So this is what he said, and I'll show you here. Mr. David Neo Rodriguez. This is from his source. Shout out to him, by the way. Reports of B-2s and B-52s, fighter jets, and refuelers have taken off Little Rock Air Force Base this morning, approximately 80 planes. Speaking of what's going on, in the east. Weird thing is that the base typically only has C-130 equipment carriers and refuelers. Reports of modified B-52 stealth bombers also. Also is their weird is their flight route had them going straight north. And it caught my eye. Don't know more than that yet. Something big is happening, though. So here, well, let's just throw this in here. All right, folks. So have y'all seen what's going on in Taiwan and seen what's going on in the airwaves? And you see this, footage, satellite footage. There's some type of, since December the 23rd, I believe, there's some type of artificial island created not too far from Japan. There's just all this craziness going on, and I'm over here going like this. I've been texting some people that's close to me, and I'm saying, it's got to be aliens, man. It's got to be the aliens. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be the aliens. When David made this post today, it literally navigated to my mind, and the reason why I put the, let's just say the lovely star forts on the thumbnail, you're probably like, when's he going to get to the star forts? Well, guess what, folks? We're going to get some star forts right now. We're going to pop some star forts off here for everybody, and hopefully she'll pop off if we can do that here in a millisecond. So let's just talk about these star forts. And you guys know that I've talked about it many times here on the channel. We've talked about it specifically. We used to take some huge dives into archaeology. I've been down some rabbit holes with you guys with ley lines. We've been a lot of places here on Google Earth. But let's just turn on. I've already got them turned on, the star forts. And if you think that this map is completely like a little spherical, if this is accurate, let me know in the chat. If I wish I could change this. Google Earth used to offer years ago a flat Earth, a plane of existence model years ago. You might have to, if anybody out there has a mod or something, let me know. So if you can see on these red indicator lights here on these triangle-like formations, this is interesting, right? The whole East Coast, you got a couple of those out in the West. But, this is not specifically where we need to be. But I wanted to show you guys the East and all through Jamaica, all this up and through this area, all the way to South America. It's looking a little Stargate-ish, like a little Stargate, Starfortish, okay? So we got something going on here with ancient antiquity that we really just don't know how to perceive it, okay? And I've even looked through it for the sacred geometry, the sacred ley lines of alien, of fallen angel technology, and all these different things. There's a Bermuda Triangle. Well, let's just go ahead and focus on this bad boy over here. When you go to, let's just see if I can do it by heart without having to have navigation. Well, you guys see this right here. The Strait of Hormuz right now is a little bit hot and heavy. This is a hot and heavy zone, and I wanted to throw this out here. We're going to do a program in the future with this. I've actually been trying to work on it for a long period of time. Fort of Our Lady of Conception. So yeah, that's the star fort, and there's a star fort here, and a star fort there, and there's a star fort everywhere. But here in the Strait of Hormuz, this is where star fort activity, and you have to ask yourself, what does that have to do with anything? And going back to alluding to what Mr. Rodriguez text on or messaged on X, I want to show you something. When you zoom out, you start looking, you start navigating, you start thinking, your mind wanders, right? You see all these black indicator lights, and you see, well, they're going north, they're going, they're doing stuff, their flight patterns are not en route. There's some type of situation going on. What is really going on? Well, this is what I think's going on. All this area right here, all up into the region of Russia, all these areas, okay? It's baffling to me that there's star forts on every block. Thousands, hundreds. There's hundreds of thousands of star forts, and it's the Great North. So you got to ask yourself, because we've done many shows on this. We talked about the Hyperborea Stargate portal up there where the Vikings come out and just do a little bit of purging of the lands, purging of the world. You have to ask yourself, folks, really what's going on? And when David Rodriguez mentioned that tweet, I had to literally incorporate this into my program because star forts are everywhere, all through the Black Sea, through all these. I mean, look at this. And I always ask myself, why so many star forts? And yes, we've talked about it many times, and people be probably trying to correct me on this. Well, Brian, it's just a stupid fort. What's it matter? Well, if you go back to ancient Tartarian knowledge and you look at the reality of it, and you say, okay, do we have this or do we have that? Let me get this centered here for you guys. And we have, when we go back to look at the dates on these so-called established foundations, these star forts was already there, and they just literally refortified it, just like what they do in Peru. The ancients had something, and then all of a sudden some guy comes over, Harry, I decree this place my land, and puts the flag on it or whatever, and I'm going to build with my chisel and axe, and I'm going to build my fort. That's exactly what it is, and all of a sudden, voila, you see establishment, 1400, 1500, whatever, but it goes back and predates back to the ancient times. It's driving me crazy, folks. It's all about he said, she said, and I wonder who these people was. Could you imagine, not to go on a big rant here, could you imagine seeing these marvels back in the day and they're in their entirety and seeing the star structure and some guy going, Harry, I haven't been explored from the ancient days. I have ancient Babylonian knowledge, or the Tower of Babel is with me, and throwing the stick down and saying, I'm going to build something here, and literally masquerade is literally a liar. Chick-ching, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I said that, but that's the way I feel. I'm pretty strong with that too because I'm looking through the glasses of lies. I'm seeing the lenses of people, and the lies have really just, it's not made me happy. It's not making me happy. So, enough of that ranting. So if we go to Japan, we want to go to Japan, don't we? Don't we go to Japan? Let's go to Taiwan, excuse me. Let's go to Taiwan. And you see as we cross the Greenland here. Okay, I didn't say Greenland, but the green grass. See, Taiwan has it's called the Internal Golden Castle. So if I remember correctly, all in this area, somewhere in this area on satellite imagery, I might be wrong about it. Forgive me if I am. It might be up here, but I think it was right here. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It is wrong. I am wrong on that. It's right here. It was in the East China Sea. There was some type of, literally, in this location, somewhere right here, where there was an artificial island being literally just manufactured. And we know that there's certain countries out there that can build a artificial island. But what was so stunning, and I mean, it was baffling to me that the sheer size of it was probably like, you got Japan, it's probably at least half. It would probably fit this whole area, this region of Japan, and it's all sitting here. So what's going on here, folks? Is it aliens? It's got to be aliens, right? It's got to be these ancient resetters, the Phoenicians, you talk about these underground facilities, underground bunkers, the Golgotha, I said Golgotha, excuse me, Lord, Argotha. If you want to talk about Golgotha, we can talk about the place of the skull where the cross is. Hello out there. And But Argotha and the hollow earth theory, there's so much going on that's underneath the earth. We can't even understand what's above it. We can't even look through. We're just everywhere. Mind control and steroids here, folks. So whatever this is going on here in this island and the Great North and whatever is going on with all these planes and rockets and whatever is being shipped, something else is going on. I just know it in my gut. It just does not feel right. Yes, there's wars going on. Yes, I understand that people are losing lives. Yes, 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 but I think something else is afoot. That's just my take on that. Take it for what it is, and let me know in the chat and the comments if you guys really do think that something is really on the horizon that we just don't understand. So let's just have fun here since we are at the in Japan here. Let's go ahead and turn the ley lines on. So I just turn the ley lines on, folks. You can see them, and you see the strategicness of it. I mean, they're everywhere, and you can see there's a little bit of a little high-end amount of ley lines up in this region and the North Korea and South Korea region, but they're everywhere, all over the face of the earth. And you have to ask yourself, this island that I'm referring to that's artificial, she's right here. She's right here. I mean, literally right here. And you can't see it on this Google Earth, but they do have satellite imagery for that. I think it was December the 23rd when they started building it. So it wasn't that long ago. So pretty amazing on our society and how our reality is kicking out to be. So take it for what it is. What is it, Brian? What do you know? How do you feel about it? And I think that anything goes at this point. They have proven time and time again that they can fool us, and they're not going to fool me. I'm not getting fooled again. Yes, I do things. We all do it. Yes, we have trouble with things. Yes, we be up in the. No, I was going to start singing a rap song, but we are literally being driven and programmed. We all have been guilty of being mind controlled or brainwaved to another reality. We have. We all done it. We've all took of that plate. Let's just use that term. So let's just continue on. Let's continue on if I can. Maybe I can't. But yeah. So let's go back to that. Yes, there it is right here. Okay. Let me see here. Yes, this was interesting. I had to bring this up. Sorry about that little delay in the program. If you haven't liked that, hit that, shared that program here. I appreciate you share the news is not for everybody. Thank y'all so very much for being here all across the Bluegrass State. Here we are up in the Bluegrass State of Kentucky. One green light bulb knocked out at a time, and waking up from our society of societal collapse and psychological warfare. Did y'all like that? And just keep it fresh, keep it real. Thank you so much, Craig Hagan. It's a good seeing you, man. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, this one really got struck my interest. Temple from Christ time revealed lost powerful society, archaeologists say. So what is really going on? The New York Post has got something really cranking, and you have to ask yourself. This is where I'm at. Okay, I'm a little bit of skeptic. Okay. Just forgive me. I'm going to say something here. Just like the days of Noah, so shall it be. What is going on? What algorithm? What software did you use? Why can't we go and dig? I understand. I know some archaeologists. I know the severity of it. I know the complexity of it, the sensitivity of the sites. I understand. I get it. You can't be going up in there like a bull in China shop and try to tear everything up and just take C4, just light her up like you know what and make it happen. I know you can't. I know you can't do that. It's a tedious spot. But it's marveling to me is that this happened, the timing on this is what I'm saying. You hear all this other stuff about antiquity, pharaohs of old, but why now? Temple from Christ time reveals lost powerful society. And this is where you hear the individuals say, and they talk about Satan's little, you know what, I don't want to say it, and then they also tie this. They'll tie this, what do you want to bet me this is going to be tied to the Tartarian Empire structure? What do you want to bet me? They'll somehow announce this in some shape or form, and there's going to be history of it. Well, I'm sorry, but I know a thing or two about Tartaria too. I've got some books here that go around to my local area, literally not too far from me, where they literally talk about an ancient location where giants once roamed, and there was an ancient cemetery on a high mountain, and they literally said that there's literally 10 civilization remnants there. Egypt, China, Tartars. Yeah, folks. They mentioned the Tartarian, the Tartar, and they mentioned Peruvian. I mean, you just want to start screaming. You just want to start screaming. You want to start screaming. Literally 10 different civilizations here in my neck of the woods in the Bluegrass State, and we're all over here going, hey, man, get you some alcohol and some beer, moonshine. I mean, it's just all the time. It's just all the time. Drive, man, that ain't a hill. That's a pyramid. Nah, that ain't no pyramid. You know. Or, man, they say there's giants down there, but I ain't heard nothing since the Smithsonian came and got them. Or you'll see, documentation from back in the day, the tibulas, the fibula, they was huge, right? They was huge. The skull could go over top of a 6'4" man. That's all documented in my neck of the woods. An ancient cemetery. But yeah, this whole area around here, folks, Tartars, okay? Ancient Peruvian and civilizations of Egypt and everything under the sun. It was up to 10. I can't remember them all right now. And I think they even referred to ancient Atlantis. And this was in a book from the 1700s. So I guess it's all about he said, she said. And I guess before AI came around and everything and all these guys, I guess social media was around back then and they was all on backup. Because why would these individuals lie about a particular site or particular thing that they seen with their own hands or seen it or dug it up or touched it and documented and did the topography on it? Why would you lie about it? Why would there be deceitfulness in it? Well, yeah, there is. But you can go back before the 1700s. There was a lot going on with survey work and guys and gals and everybody out there in all walks of life. There's something that is being disrupted, very disrupted in our reality. So yeah, Christ time reveals a lost, powerful society, according to this account. And like I said, God bless the archaeologists out there, because I think they do an awesome job. But these folks in the past, people going around pillaging and taking and putting their flagpoles up back in the day, my goodness, if I had a time travel mechanism, I don't know if I'd go back or not. I'd probably be laughing my tail off. They'd be like, who are you, hillbilly? I feel like it's time to go back to the future. Crazy times, folks. Crazy times. Okay, so this next one, and comment below and let me know what you guys think. Thanks for the super chat. Y'all got me going. I'm just now getting my second wind, and here we are an hour in. I have to go here. There's some more that I got to take in. So this one right here, this one really gets me, okay? This one takes me to another atmosphere, okay? This one takes me so far out there, somewhere into another spectrum of reality. Okay, so if anybody remembers this ancient Navy map, okay? 1995, this came out, and they built this Navy map that the way the America was supposed to look, so it's this prophetic map of U.S. after the pole shift. So we got some pole shifting going on, and there you go. So if you're out there in the close to Paducah, Kentucky, and Bowling Green area, you will have your beachside property here very soon, according to the account. And then the Great Lakes are going to split off into oblivion, and it's going to be some type of, let's just say, not too good for a lot of other situations. So yeah, we're going to be a lot of beach property. You don't have to go to the Gulf no more, because apparently it ain't going to be there no more. Well, in some cases, it would be there. But yeah, it's crazy, right? It's going to be expanded. The toilet bowl is going to expand, and the plumbing's going to explode. That's where we're at. So check this out. It's crazy times, and then let's just move on and look at the billionaires buying land. No throwing no smoke or light toward anybody, but, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, them green states there. It makes you really wonder, not to knock off anybody. They have their if they got $1 billion, they have their right to do what they want with it. But, it makes you wonder, strategically laid out there. I don't know, though. Arizona looks a little rough. Arizona looks a little cut off in half there. So, but the green states there have a bunch of billionaires buying up land and doing some type of hokey pokey and turn yourself around and building a fortification. That's what it's all about. So, yeah. So we have a Navy map from 1995, and it's strategically being individuals laying up their treasures here on Earth. I don't know. Crazy times. Something to really ponder on. something to really ponder on. Let's get this other perspective, this other human here. They said many, I said million. Many of the billionaires seem to trust the self-proclaimed prophet Gordon Michael Scallion. They are buying land according to the post-cataclysm map, and then they're going on and referring to the folks that's on the screen there, as you can see, that's buying all this property. And it's, yeah, so it's interesting, to say the least. It's very interesting. It's pretty telling where we are. Pretty telling where we are. If you're just now tuning in, welcome everybody, Walks of Life, to Visual Disturbance Community and Visual Disturbance Channel. I almost glitched out here. I promise I'm not AI, folks. It's just glitching into the Matrix. So, breaking, this happened on this morning. Not only the Cuban folks are out, we just did a little segment yesterday with 11 million folks are out of electricity, and boom, here comes the boom, ready or not, 6.0 magnitude earthquake in Cuba early this morning, and it's pandemonium up there, what I'm hearing, folks, from my sources. It's getting cray-cray out there, and so you have to ask yourself a question, how long can this go on? And then you have to ask yourself another crazy question, and this is where I'm at when I get to the conspiracy theory in a lot of things. I've always said in the past, and there's been many channels I've done broadcast on, and many different programs I've talked about and alluded to certain things, guessing on things, and then some things literally throwing out some literally hard truth. When I seen the electricity go off yesterday, I knew something like this would probably happen, and I was like in my mind saying, okay, this is probably going to happen soon. So they went all full-blown darkness, and then this pops off. Well, I've always said, folks, every time you have electrical grid disruption, now just hear me out. This is why I'm referring to that there's something in the sky, there's something in the airwaves. They're saying these planes have to be this, or putting duct tape on them, whatever. Okay, there's all kinds of theories, all kinds of rhetoric, all kinds of excuses. You can just name whatever you want to name them. And they're grounded, okay? I get that. And that's what I'm saying. We did this before in the past. In the 2020s, they're saying you can't go outside, you can't look up, you can't touch nothing, you can't go between 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Can't go outside and look up at the sky because you're going to catch something. So the same thing is what I'm feeling right now. It feels like there's planes not being in the sky. It feels like the same narrative over and over again. It feels like that they're pushing Hobby Lobby balloons and balloons this, shooting it with rockets, unidentified flying phenomenon, and all of a sudden you have this disruption and saying there's this, there's layoffs with this application. And I just have to wonder on the back end of things, and on the back end, is there something else going on nefarious? And what I'm alluding to with this 6.0 magnitude earthquake, I have to really ponder on the reality check here is like electrical current, like big scientific, like a scientific project. We had literally blue skies one day here. We had literally tornadic weather, storms, hurricane weather, and then all of a sudden this comes up and starts snowing. Literally snowing really bad, and it caused a lot of wrecks and accidents this morning in the Bluegrass State. So you have to ask yourself, it's all East Coast. And then you go out and you start thinking, okay, you got electricity going out in this huge country. All these 11 million folks have no electricity. And then boom, here comes a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. It makes you wonder if there wasn't something under the ground or in the water. I've said it before years ago on Cutting Edge. I said this, I swear up and down, I thought I might have mentioned it when we talked about China, Japan, and Taiwan, and talking about this certain thing in Cuba. And I remember referencing a certain longitude, latitude in the water. And I said to myself just this morning, I said, could it be that something has awoken and they had to turn the electricity off to crank it back up? Hey, buddy, come on, crank up the flux capacitor. Joking. But seriously, change it, influx, have energy current, pulling from the air, and something manifesting. That's just my literally conspiracy, tinfoil hat, let's just say, compilation of insanity. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. So God bless these folks out there with the 6.0, and God only knows what the Cuban Cuba folks have to deal with. I don't know. Time will only tell for that. But yeah, there's my 2 cents for that, folks. Crazy times indeed. Crazy times indeed. I want to welcome all walks of life to the channel. This one's a long one, folks. A long one. I know you guys like these long broadcasts. I know you guys do. And I appreciate you all being here. So this one, let's just go ahead and show this one footage because I want to show you all something that's coming out of the sky. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Scientists heard a loud boom, and we talked about this earlier in Ohio, but across Pennsylvania, I want to show you all at least some footage of it. And they confirmed to have been caused by meteor entering the atmosphere. And what we talked about earlier is a little late to the show, but let's just go ahead and show it real quick for everybody. If I can play it, here we go. What the fuck? And I just paused it because there's bad language there. I got it just in time. Boom. I'm gonna mute that because I do not go for that. I'm not a big fan of that at all. So we had to mute that part. So yeah, even the truck drivers and the cars on the interstate, or people are flying and seeing they're flying down the road literally. And I use that term. A lot of people that watch me on this channel, they're like, Brian, put the here we go. We got another picture here, another video of it. They're always telling me to put captions on because they're like, are you actually flying? They're like, and that's a term that I picked up from, I think, one of my family members from way back in the day. And it's called pushing the gas pedal, okay, at 88 miles an hour. And I don't know where I got that from flying. I guess I'm prepared to fly the Vimanas. But yeah, I never picked up aviation or trying to fly an airplane, but welcome to the crazy town. Can't fly a car. I mean, can't fly a car. Can't drive a car. Can't drive a plane. So welcome to the insanity world. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? This meteorite / projectile coming out of the sewer pit of the ancient dome above us. And I'm not throwing off on anything about biblical. I'm talking about something that we talked about here on the channel with Mrs. Beatrice. Some very sinister things upon the skies and the airways. So folks, it's crazy times. And we all feel the world changing literally at an advanced speed. It's hyperly active brain patterns going on right now, folks. People are literally losing the wits right now. There's people out there that literally are just freaking out about everything, unfortunately. So I want to mention this because I always bring this up a few times. And it's really weird. This is coming back in the news. CERN, the scientists are communicating with entities from other dimensions. And I'll just say this one more time. Like we talked about in the Demons Rising program, when you have the two, it has the, they had the map that I had, and I actually incorporated in the thumbnail, but the two granite obelisks and some kind of coil situation and the tortoreal mechanisms to change molecular structure, change something and make a human or something or it to literally jump space and time. No joke, that's what they claim. And they was even communicating with the Greys. So riddle that one, folks, whatever it is, whatever comes from that. But yes, CERN has been cranking it up, going 5G times 40G. And this time the weasel didn't shut it down. The weasel didn't shut it down. Yeah, I know, folks. If y'all looked into CERN, the weasel didn't shut it down. And Jaws had sharp teeth. And the Bernstein Bears and the Oscar Mayer Wiener and all these other, companies, etc. I'm referring to something. Mandela. So, but yeah, crazy times. Is it true? What if? So moving on. That's a really bad quote, but somebody said, not trying to alarm anyone, but is anyone else worried about how blank stupid everyone is? And that's not a good saying here on the Visual Disturbance. That's not good at all. I love this one because it's kind of comical. This was just in today. 33% chance of recession this year. Just want to say this for everybody out there that is going through a lot of stuff. I hate the number. I wish the number was 34. I wish it was 31 or 30 or 35. At least put it up to that number. But it's always that little pesky number that I wish wasn't around. If you get into that kind of thing and get over superstitious. But I really do think there's numbers and let's say I don't get into gematria, but I do know that I've learned and read and understand it. And I think there is synchronicities that I really don't like to get into. So yeah, recession this year, is it going to happen or not? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Is that something that's really going to happen? Who knows? God help us if it does, for sure. Other things right here, as you see on the screen here, it looks all kind of blurry. Well, that's the human resonance, or the Schumann resonance, I mean. Well, I don't know where I'm at with this, okay? The Earth energies, yes, that's why I'm on it. And give a big shout out to Michael Bradbury. I think he has a channel called Mr. MB333. Give him a shout out. Give him a shout out for Visual Disturbance World. So Earth's frequency just broke into multiple signals in the last 10 hours. The Schumann resonance didn't just spike, it split. That's kind of according to my life. My life feels like it's been split in half 10,000 times, and I'm chasing things that my family don't give a crap about. I'm talking about some extended family. You know, there's some folks out there that it's hard to get along with, but you're supposed to dust your shoes off. But other than that, hey, how you doing? So 10 hours of spike, the Schumann resonance, multiple bands lit up at once, layer frequency filled the background, not a clean burst, but overlapping signals moving through Earth's natural frequency at the same time, saturation across multiple levels, abrupt, unusual, it is coming from above or interacting with. So anyone feeling off where you are? That's a good question. A lot of people out there. Snail's World, thank you so very much for the super chat. God bless you. But yeah, folks, are y'all seeing this visually disturbance on your screen? Is it blurring out everything? Is it making your... I hope it's not hurting you too bad. It's about to blow my eyeballs out. But yeah, hey, there you go. But the Schumann resonance is off the chart, is splitting in half. Maybe that's the timeline shift. Maybe we're getting ready to ascend to the... Now, just hold off. Hold off for a minute. I want to clarify and confirm something because I made some interesting commentary today on Facebook, and people kind of got a little crazy with it. I think they might have took me the wrong way on the way that I worded it, a little wordplay. There's core beliefs that I will never deviate from. And if you've been following me for a long period of time, I would not jump into the, let's just say, the mosh pit or down into the abyss. I do not jump off the rails. A lot of people have asked and worried about me, but I'm not. I'm just looking at it and putting this stuff on the shelf and making sure that I document it because I want to know in 2026 that they was talking about the Schumann resonance or whatever type of human activity or alien activity. I'm just documenting it all. But I will say this, like I said earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, I have been feeling so weird here lately. And yes, I have visual issues. Yes, I have things that really I deal with. I have infirmities that make me really sick. I get really nauseous all the time and I'm dizzy. Even during this program right now, I'm super dizzy. It's just part of it. It's just the way I have to do it now. It's the way life is. But I posted something this morning where people was like really kind of, I did it for kind of just to see what people would see the interaction stance. And I wanted to see where people's heads are and where they are, you know, in their walk and their reality. And I said, ascension symptoms activated. Worst post I probably ever posted, plus the worst for 2026, which I don't believe in. I was talking about the ascension thing because, you know, we get into all this other stuff. I believe there's a thing to it, but it's some of the things you don't want to be playing around with when they're, you know, you got nanu. But I thought that it was kind of surreal, you know, that everybody's relating to certain things. And in my social media, I kept seeing ascension, 4D, 5D, 6D, everybody D, you know, and it was getting crazy. Yeah. And I literally, like I said in the post, I said, I just want to clear the air. I didn't jump off the ship and what I believe. I just keep seeing an increase in social media posts across the airways of the ascension. And I think it's all strange. And I think humans are going down some type of psychological, really bad path. And it's just mind-numbing to me. So I just want to clarify that and confirm with you guys that think I wasn't going and trying to teach you guys something of a negative sort that would cognitively tear you down. And I don't want to do that. That's not where I'm at. I'm just bringing this stuff. That's why I created the News Is Not For Everybody, so everybody can know that something is something and be open-mindedness to it and actually have another person's perspective in a fun-hearted way. But sometimes they go down a little dark, but it is a little bit numbing, to say the least. Speaking of, Las Vegas alien encounter, no joke. If y'all can remember this one, I'm not going to show the video. I might show it. It depends on if it shows up with the copyright footage. Las Vegas, no joke. There's something going to happen with that here in the future. But Las Vegas alien encounter, 10-foot tall and bulletproof creatures. Y'all notice I just put that in there for extra cost. No extra cost. Reported in a family's backyard after a light fell from the sky in 2023. We talked about this on the channel. It was pretty surreal and crazy. We'll just show a little bit of a picture, we'll just show it a little bit. I won't play the footage. But yeah, it's kind of evil. It's kind of like got this eerie comparisons. Don't y'all feel like it's got this like eerie comparisons? You got the, you know, light coming out of the sky, falling down. All of a sudden, a 10-footer shows up. You know, there's like this kind of inconsistencies with the news and making you kind of feel a little bit numb to everything. So, all I know, folks, We got some type of 10-foot tall, gray-like creatures. And did you guys know that there was a agency of some shape or form back in the day in the 1800s? And did you know they used to hunt these things out in our fields and forestry? No joke. Go look it up. There was some type of Mr. Phil Schneider had it together. Okay, these 10-foot tall creatures look like grays. They literally was running around, coming out of the woodwork, probably out of the cracks and crevices of Argotha, and showing up in the forestry areas, and people was having to take them out. No, go look it up. I can't remember what book it was written in, but there is something to that. So pretty phenomenal, pretty crazy. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. Hopefully these folks in Las Vegas got some. Let's just say they relocated. How about that? That's what I would probably say. So I love this one today. This one kind of hits home. You own nothing and be schizophrenic. So that was scary because, you own nothing and be schizophrenic. Well, I had to think about this for a minute, folks. Do you know there's a lot of people going missing? A lot of people just throwing us out here, top officials, there's generals and top tier clearance UFO guys and astrophysicists and build you a proton out back with the grill type of people, take the motor out and take your, alternator to the back of your vehicle or front of your vehicle and turn it into an ice cream machine. I mean, that kind of stuff, right? Probably, I think I just told you guys too much. I just gave y'all a secret. I gave my secret away. That's what I would do. Take your alternator out. It builds you an ice cream machine. Turn that home turn, homemade ice cream at the Bluegrass State with your alternator. That just happened. That just happened live on the live stream. So I had to throw some humor in that. That just happened. So you own nothing and be schizophrenic. And on a serious note, though, seriously, there's folks out there that are either involved in programs that had trauma, either the GATE program, don't even get me started on that. I'm talking about back in the day, and certain mechanisms that go back to certain other mechanisms that lead back to some NK, ultra, and other mechanisms that are literally driving the force of psychological disorders. I'm serious. And it's sad. And then people have those conditions. I'm not making fun of them in any shape or form. But this term, schizophrenic, is literally tied to ancient. You can go look, and there's sometimes people would say this term when you're using the paranormal activity or UFO phenomenon, or you see Men in Black or Little Green Man running around in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. This is what they're referring to. You're schizophrenic and you need to be on medication because you have lost your mind. That's what they'd say. So, to me, it's strange when it's coming at full sprint right now. People are literally starting to see things. People are starting to feel things. People are starting to get a little too much radiation, a little poison, a little this, a little that. And people are literally suffering because something is above in the airways causing disruptions. And that's what we refer to in this whole program, The News is Not for Everybody. There's something disrupting the face of the earth. And that's just my opinion. Take it for what it is. But you could probably put the pieces together and look into it with the eyes of a scientist. And you could probably pretty much plug it all in and figure it all out. But yeah, so I guess this person's ahead of the game. They've already cracked the code, unfortunately. But sad times. Sad times. Sad times. So there was one more thing I was going to refer to before I disclose. Well, I just disclose. Disclosure. Well, it's something about aliens. That's why I was going to mention it real quick. If I can bring it up. Because my eyes are getting a little blurry. And yes, I'm going to bring this up right here. This is well, not. We're going to do a few more. This is a really good one. Speaking of a general and everything going on with this individual that's been missing since February. This individual, I didn't put their name up there because I didn't want nothing going back toward them, but 3 bodies. And I want to mention how this is all interconnected. So this Air Force general who vanished in February was on the same program as the, on there. I'm going to try to be respectful. And the engineer who vanished 8 months earlier, the scientist who connected was, deceased. And these 3 people formed the complete chain of custody for the super alloy critical to America. And these other names on the screen, I would read them, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try to be respectful. Y'all can read on the screen. At the Air Force Research Laboratory, the Major General William McCaslin commanded the lab that housed both programs. This is the big news that this individual, the Silver Alert, he's been missing. They claimed that he had something wrong with him. They claimed there was either a medical condition. They've heard all kinds of different stories. And, I pray that his wife and him, I know his wife is worried. There's all kinds of things. I know there's families. Listen, I pray that he gets back safe wherever he's at. But let's just go on here. All three of them were on the same program at the same time during McCaslin's 2011 to 2013 command. And then the other died of, the C word. And then vanished from a hiking trail in Angeles National Park in June. You see it there not too long ago, a year ago, pretty much. 30 feet behind a companion thermal imaging negative sent trailed ending at a displaced Beanie. And then you got McCaslin vanished from Sandia foothills in February of 2026. Neither has been found. But 4 days after the disappeared, someone posted a memorial declaring that, and nobody, or there's that not recovered. So wherever this guy is, what's going on, there's a lot of mysterious anomalies and strangeness, high strangeness with this individual. So I want to throw that out there, folks, for no additional cost. Pray this individual gets back and comes back. So isn't that stunning, in my opinion? Can't be a coincidence. But speaking of coincidence, let's move on to one more thing here. And I want to show this to you guys right here. And this one got me. According to the source of this photo, this UFO recovered by CIA Zimbabwe in 1974. That's a UFO. That's a UFO. I mean, my eyes are getting wore out. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little blurry right now. I'm not playing. Like, my eyes are visually driven out to oblivion. But I'm just going to tell you guys. This looks like something off Stranger Things. It looks like something off some type of hell movie. Some type of sci-fi horror film. So if there's anything authenticity to this, anybody out there can prove it. Comment below. Tell me if it's authentic. Tell me if it's real. Whatever it is. It's pretty crazy. It looks authentic, but you tilt your head a little way and turn your head this way. It almost looks like a giant crab got loose out of its shell and spit out of some type of secret spaceship, and it spit out there somewhere in the 1970s. So who knows? Crash retrieval program on high alert back then, 1974. Who knows? Who knows? And with that, I think I'm going to literally end this program. No, I'm not going to do it just abruptly, but I'm going to tell you guys real quick. Thank y'all so very much for being part of Visual Disturbance channel with open arms. Seriously, folks, I couldn't do this without you guys. There's like 300 something, probably plus people in the chat. God bless you guys. Thank y'all for being here. And like I said, I've got my. It looks like suspenders, but it's a back brace because literally the other morning I woke up and I've been literally hurting my back, and I have had to wear it like every day. So yeah, there you go. So more complaining from visual disturbance world. So yeah, there you go. So thank y'all so very much for being part of this channel. This is literally coming in hot at all cylinders here on the News Not for Everybody. I just want to thank y'all so very much. Share this out for me, please, folks. And I have something to announce. I'm going to try to do something very soon in the future. I keep saying that in the last few programs. Within about a month, I'll have it completed and everything. But there's going to be something new that I'm going to be presenting here to the visual disturbancers out there. So stay tuned for that. You'll be glad you did. And I just want to give a big old shout out to some of these folks out here. Ray's in the chat. West Metal Hillbilly. That's an awesome screen name. Thunderstone Hunter, good seeing you. That's an awesome name too. Gwen, it's always good seeing you. Big Earn, it's good seeing you. You got please get a hold of me again on Facebook. I think I might have missed your message. I've been trying to get a hold of you actually. Charlotte Knight, good seeing you. And let's see if I can see it here. Amber, Debbie, Johnny Kirk, Ray again, Scott, I'm trying to read you guys on a big screen here. They got literally the big font going here. And Jamie Christopher, I will bring back the Leyline shows because I really enjoyed it, and I think I want to jump back on that and get back on the saddle with that and really incorporate that back into the channel. So I'll do that. So thank you for commenting on that so very much. I will make that happen. And thanks for everybody that subscribed to the channel here. What a day it is and what a blessing it is. I was going to tell you guys real quick, thank you all for the love and support. And one day at a time, do not let these nefarious plots against humanity or whatever's going on in our society, technological advancements, upgrades, whatever it is, we just got to hold fast because we know who we serve, the King of Kings. You know what I'm saying, folks? God Almighty. We got to get with it, and we got to stay on the course. And that's what it's all about. Tony, bless you, man. And he love your channel. Well, blessings, and thank you for being here. Seriously, I genuinely mean that. Thank y'all so very much from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you all for the super chats, and I've got to go. It's a news is not for everybody, and here we are once again. But until next time, folks, keep it fresh, keep it real. Visual Disturbance will be back again, and I will see you on the next one. Thank y'all so very much for being here and attending with me this evening. But until then, next time, God bless you guys, and see you on the next one. Blessings, and see you on the next one.
I've got one that can see.